Make it real.
All right, welcome back to Liquid Lunch. I got Sandra here. We're started, Johnny Smash. Where is he?
This is a crazy day.
It's a crazy day.
It's a crazy day.
Johnny Smash just showed up, as he often does here at that channel. Johnny Smash, always good to see you.
He's
Nice
so
to see you.
busy saving the world that he's just barely making it in for us.
Is that really true, Johnny Smash?
I'm trying to save the world, but I could always make time for you guys. I love Liquid Lunch and Hugh Riley, Sandra. I love you guys, and I really enjoy your company and what you do for Canada, the arts, and just everything.
And fighting for the small guy, right?
Yeah,
Which is what
that's-
you're doing, right?
Well,
It's for the people.
Yeah, well,
It's
I
all
just
about
came from City Hall a couple of days ago. As you know, I'm a member of MAC Committee, which stands for Members Advocacy Committee. And we were doing a fairs, F-A-I-R and an F-A-R-E. And what we were fighting for was fair for seniors and people on ODSP and OW.
For the TTC.
Right, for the TTC, yes.
So what's going on with that?
Well, what's happening is that we're trying to get the TTC to lower the cost of the Metro Pass for people that are disabled, seniors, and people on social assistance. In certain places, like let's say for example in Calgary, it costs a senior citizen $15 a year to ride their public
Wow.
transportation.
Wow.
Meanwhile, in Toronto, I think it's close to $100 for a Metro Pass per month.
That's $1,200 versus $15.
Yes, so it's enormous. That would be like, I
That
guess,
is
like 1,000%,
insane.
right? 15 compared to
Yeah.
1,000, right?
Yeah,
almost
almost.
1,000%, right? 850%, right? Yeah.
So is there any? What is the current? So there's right now they have a discount, but it's really like 10%, 15%.
Yeah, discount off of the regular
Okay.
Metro Pass, which is like $120, I presume. I don't know how much a Metro Pass costs, but what we're trying to say is this: like, I was on CTV about it, and I'm just gonna reiterate what I said on CTV, was that when people are on social assistance, people have a misconception. Like, if you study economics, you're supposed to be on social assistance because they don't want you to sink; they want you to maintain. Right?
Until
And
you
what-
can get back on your
And get
feet.
out of it
Right.
too.
Right.
Get
And
off of it.
just
It's a
like
hand up.
just like when we're in the Great Depression and then Roosevelt came
Yeah.
in with all these social assistance programs, right?
Yeah.
So we stop all the soup lines. So they want you to maintain and then get back on your feet and go back up again. So it's very hard. Let's say, for example, a single person on OW gets like $600. They're allocating like $400 towards their rent. I don't know where you can rent any place for 400 except some shabby
in
room.
Toronto,
But some shabby room because there are slumlords. And after that, you're allocated 200. So you're looking at food, transportation, and all this with the rest of the $200 and $100 for a Metro Pass. I mean, there goes everything that you have, right?
Ugh.
And you need to get to your doctor's appointments, employment appointments, etc., and your regular family, whatever it is, to socialize. Because if we have people living like hermits and not feeling good about themselves and not be able to get out, then we're going to have a society that's not very good for everybody else, right?
Right. That well, I mean, that whole $600 a month. That's a whole nother issue that also
Yeah.
needs to be addressed because that's just not even close to reasonable in Toronto. Maybe in certain other parts of the country, but not here.
Well, they're talking about giving income now. Kathleen Wynne is going to look into it like they have in Denmark. I might be stand corrected. I'm pretty sure it's in Denmark and in Finland they allocate a certain amount of income to you every month.
and that's just a no-brainer.
No,
It's just a
they're talking about
no-brainer.
guaranteed annual income.
Yeah.
right,
Which is what
Johnny
I
Smash?
said.
Yes.
Which is what we talked
Yes.
about, like in 2010 on Joe's show, The Cube. We talked about that. Everybody
Yeah.
should have
Everybody's
a base
starting to talk about
salary.
that now.
That's awesome.
Because the welfare system, for sure, totally dysfunctional.
A lot of people, I heard that a lot of people that like in certain countries with the guaranteed income, they just donate their money back to somebody. Like because some people don't need it because it's for everybody. It's not
You
just
know
for
what I
people
heard,
on
Johnny
social.
Smash?
Yeah.
Here's what because we had a conversation just the other day here at that channel with somebody. I know you wanted to, guy with a political party in Ontario, the anti-corruption party, whatever. They were talking about guaranteed annual income. Apparently, the poverty line in Toronto, in Ontario, is $33,000 a year. So this would be the guarantee. To me, that's good money. You're making $33,000 a year,
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, 30,000, 40,000. That's a good salary, I think.
but that's the poverty line.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
in
considered
Ontario,
the
Yeah.
poverty
right?
line.
But I think somebody
Yeah.
like on social assistance, it comes out to like 16,000 a year. doesn't
Oh,
it?
it's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Or 12,000.
You can't
maybe.
survive on that. And then Harris cut it back, and then I mean, it's just, and then it'd be nice if there were some jobs,
Yeah.
right?
Because I think a lot of people want to work.
Yeah.
Some
like,
people
well,
want to be on social assistance.
I think Mike Harris kind of came up with something good where it was like more like workfare, where they encourage you to get jobs and to get job training. But I think it's just a lot of bureaucracy right now, because I think a lot of people that take the money from the government just actually get the money for the training. They don't do the second part by actually getting you employed. But theoretically, it's a good theory, and it motivates people, because again, I believe in reintegrating people back into society. Like, you're talking to someone here, me myself personally, I suffered from substance abuse, recidivism, in and out of jail, homelessness. So I'm a big advocate
Yeah,
of
course.
reintegrating society, because if I sat there and said, well, I'm going to stick my head in the sand like an ostrich, I wouldn't be here standing in front of you, and I wouldn't be able to go to City Hall and speak in front of the City Hall or police headquarters or police board.
That's why
right?
you can be so passionate about it too, because
Right.
you can certainly relate. The other thing too, I think that people don't get is there is a cost to these people. Even though the government, if the government just gave that $33,000 as a base wage instead of the 16, because the other 16 or 17,000 that they're not getting is going to all the expense to help these people on the street and the jails and all of that stuff too. So it's a matter of reallocating the funds. It's not like that money is being saved in
Right.
for something
And
else.
again-
It's going to feed that system, which is probably actually costing us more money.
Right, and then again,
Right?
money, even though you could touch money physically, a lot of these things are just in theory. It's all in our head.
Yeah.
For example, if you get a loan from a bank for your mortgage, you never see the money.
right. It's just
and
a
the money's
dollar.
not actually
Yeah.
there.
We know about that,
Right.
Smash. They're just making that money up.
Yeah, exactly.
But
and then
if you
we're-
don't make your payment, they're going to come and take your real house.
They're not even
Right,
making the
right,
money up. It's just
exactly.
numbers on a computer. They're not
Right.
even making the money anymore. They're
Right.
not even. They don't even have to print it anymore.
Right,
They
and
just
it-
have to
and-
put a number in the computer.
And again, like in the United States of America, the Federal Reserve
Yeah.
is not even actually the government, and there is no, it's nothing reserved to be federal, right?
Yes.
I mean, before our monetary, it was based on, our money was based on gold, our gold reserves, and then that was taken away.
Yes.
So a lot of things are just in theory
Yes.
that we're just caught up in,
Yes.
and we the people have to gain back that power
That's right,
and
that's
say
right.
what is really good. For example, even jobs itself and technology itself robs us of our environment and our raw materials, because we're constantly digging into our raw materials,
That's right.
using up
That's right.
just for capitalism, which, if we just lived off the earth and be self proficient, we'd be okay, right? Instead of all these manufacturing jobs, right?
Good point. Even where we are, we're King and Bay.
Yeah.
100% of the jobs, every single job here, is all make work.
Right.
It's all fake make work. Unless you're actually working with the land, your job is not worth anything. It's all fake money, because you're not doing anything that's contributing to the system. All you're doing is sitting in a building, playing with the computer, and going home
Right.
to sit in another building to get sleep, so you can come back and sit in the building and play with the computer. But unless you're actually working with the natural resources,
Mm-hmm.
not depleting to do something else, but actually working, so farmers would be doing honest work.
And a lot-
Anybody who's doing that, and that is how much. What is the percentage that are actually doing that? There's not a person here that's doing that. Not
Right,
one.
right.
So to your point, what a waste.
Yeah, what a waste.
Yeah.
And another thing is too, is like a lot of these jobs are out of reach for the common man.
Yes.
I mean, even if somebody wanted to do something with their savings, for example, if you were to invest in a stock, the minimum investment is $5,000. I know people on the street wishing that they could make $5,000, much less
Yeah.
to have the minimum investment of $5,000 to invest in a stock. So again, it sort of comes back to the good old boys club. One thing I hate about Toronto is it's the housing situation. For example, if you have bad credit, nobody's going to look at you. So it's going to be a continuous cycle
Yeah.
for somebody.
Yes,
Usually
yeah.
somebody who's on the street
Yeah.
has bad credit. They could have had a house
Or they
before.
wouldn't be on the street.
Right, exactly. And then how could they reintegrate if they have bad credit.
There's no agencies to help with that?
Well, there's a couple of programs right now. There's Street to Homes. There was a HAP program, Housing Allowance program. I was involved in that program, and it was great. However, their funding got cut.
Of course.
But as you see in Toronto, with all this gentrification happening, all these places are just like condos is the way to go, and that's where the money is, and it's out of being out of the reach. Like, I mean, the average price of a house right now in Toronto is $1 million. Where are you gonna get $1 million from?
Yeah.
How's somebody supposed to dream of owning a home? Imagine our children now, how much the price of a home is gonna be in their generation.
Yeah.
Is definitely gonna be out of reach. So again, it's the city's being built for the elite.
But you know what though, Johnny? Maybe on the upside, it's going to cause enough of a revolution for people like you, for people like me, who say, you know what, enough, and it might move us back into the community kind of lifestyle which we've gotten so far away from.
Right.
So if there's anything positive, maybe it would help us to do that and form like smaller communities. Because really, who cares if you have a home or not? If you have a community and everybody's equal. You know, and everybody has everything that they need and never have to worry about it. That's the point of it.
Well, that's
right?
true communism.
Well, it's actually it's not it's I don't even
I hate to say
think,
it.
I don't think communism. No, because I think communism is all about having the power over those people. True communism is equalism.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So what you're saying, that's true communism, right?
Right. And
Right, I
maybe
hate to say it,
communism
right?
is community, right? So
Right.
maybe that's yeah. Then if that's what that is, then I'm all for communism.
Happy communing.
Well, speaking of politics, I went from a couple of weeks ago from no job to having 2 jobs.
Wow.
And,
How did you swing that?
It was just by the luck of the draw, and my reputation precedes me, and by the grace of God, and people gave me a couple of calls. First appointment that I got was a marketing position with Milk and Honey Enterprises music division, because they're enterprises, so there's different things that they do with their enterprises. But I'm involved in the music division for Milk and Honey. We also have an open house every Friday and Saturday, so we invite the public in to come in, and it's a place for artists to record their music.
Where is it?
It's at Keelan Lawrence, right?
Okay.
We kind of keep the location a little bit low because we want it to be more exclusive, so we invite people to
Right.
call us,
Right.
and then we'll give you the actual address.
Right.
It's not something that we just want for the whole public, because we've
You'll
had
be inundated.
Right. We've
Okay.
had experiences before where we've seen and we noticed certain things, so we just want to keep it exclusive. The other
Wait a second. Who are you? What kind of artists are you looking for?
Oh, all kinds of artists. We're open. It's a recording studio.
Okay.
You have instruments there. It's not just through the computer and everything. We have a session studio.
So real musicians,
real
okay.
musicians, real artists, and also just plain recording artists, because a lot of these rappers right now, all they need is an instrumental and a computer, and they're
Yeah.
good to go. I mean, technology is good, but it's also bad because it takes
Yes.
away
Yes.
from your creativity. So Milk and Honey, Lawrence and Akil, contact Johnny Smash. I'll give you my info later. And the next one,
We put up
is-
your Twitter anyway, so they
yeah,
can get in touch.
it's something that's really close to my heart. I'm employed, and I also volunteer for the People's Political Party of Ontario, and these are some great people. Kevin Clark has ran before for the mayor of Toronto, and he's real change. And when I think of Kevin Clark, and it's kind of funny because I was thinking about this the other day, and I was thinking about food. Because
Okay.
I looked at my friend's cupboard, right, and I seen unbleached flour, right? So
Right.
all these years, most people were probably not aware that our flour is bleach. You also have chemicals and stuff that you drink, like Fruitopia and all these
Right,
drinks and all that.
right,
That's
right.
cleaning fluid practically, and
But it tastes good.
it tastes
It's-
good. So, just by coincidence, I'm looking at this and I'm saying, all these government agencies that do these things and don't do nothing to protect your rights, a man like Kevin Clark would never do that. He would never have that. He makes something out of nothing, and he has nothing, and he still drives. So it encourages you to get out and go. And he has a couple of candidates that are running for school board trustee. One in Scarborough is Sonia Harry, who was on your show before, Burning Bliss.
She's running for school board?
Yeah, she
Wow.
is so excited. How she got involved. Now the next candidate is just it's a bad story, but it's a terrible story in a sense because there's tragedy. It's the classical Shakespeare. The next candidate is going to run in Etobicoke North for school board trustee, and that's Bernie Sampson. Now, that name, it didn't ring a bell to you before, Hugh, but I'll get you up to date. The reason why Bernice Sampson is running is because she tragically lost her daughter, Caitlin Sampson, while in the care of CAS. And it was a big story. It was all over the newspaper. And Kevin Clark fought for attention to this. And it finally went to the coroner's office. And they made 17 recommendations that the People's Political Party is going to ensure that those 17 recommendations are met. Because I'm not quite sure if you're aware, but up to 2015, like CAS never had no oversight. They had no government oversight. They were part of the government, but they had no oversight with the government, which was a shame. And Caitlin Sampson died of something called septic shock. And septic shock is just basically poisoning of your blood.
Yeah.
The funny thing is that septic shock is the #1 killer of people in intensive care in hospitals. And we have a young child that's attending school every day that's supposed to be under the care of CAS that died of septic shock. And another tragic thing is that septic shock, usually the symptoms, you have bruises on you. Like that's one of the main symptoms of septic shock, right? So I mean, nobody noticed nothing. You have
How
teachers.
old was she?
She was like 9 years old, I think.
How did that happen? How does a 9-year-old die of septic shock?
This is why I love Kevin Clark, because you see, when I bring it to the forefront and I bring it to the media, everybody's like, oh my god, listen, but not everything is always in the media, right? So you have an everyday guy like Kevin Clark that gets everyday people in the People's Political Party of Ontario involved, that brings it about. What basically happened was Bernice was going through some trials and tribulations. She went to CAS to have her child placed in care, and then the Native Services, Children's Services, I'm not quite sure their name, also got involved because it was a couple. So the female was Native. So they had Native child care services. So apparently they're supposed to visit them every 30 days or something like that. I'm not quite sure. I could stand corrected on this. And they weren't seen at all. And she was going to school sick. She was missing days from school.
And nobody at school noticed this at all.
Well, again, the education system failed too, because if the teachers or the nurses or the principal at the school, and that's why Bernice is going to run for school board trustee to ensure that children's rights are met and children's education needs are met, because this is a tragic story and it needs to be, I mean, I'm not one to share tragedy, but I mean, it needs to be shared, right? It needs to be shared and it needs to be told.
Wow.
Okay, Johnny Smash, listen, we're just about out of time here, so if people want to follow up on any of this stuff, we got your contact. Do you want to give out any other contact info for yourself or for the party?
No, just Johnny Smash 416, Twitter, and Johnny Smash 416 at Instagram, and also Johnny Smash at Facebook. That's about it for now. My website is under construction right now, and just check me out on Facebook. I'm always out there. I'm one of Toronto's top event coordinators and hosts. And check out Kevin Clark and the People's Political Party of Ontario.
Bernice Sampson.
And Bernice Sampson and Sonia Harris.
Bernice.
Yeah,
Okay.
Bernice.
So Johnny, always great to see you.
Yeah.
It's good that you just dropped in today. Maybe what we can do is work together to get
Kevin up here.
Clark up
Yeah,
here.
and Bernice,
talk
yeah.
about,
what their
the
issues
party's
are.
going to do and stuff like that. So
I think the thing is, it's sort of like when you see politicians or you see people on TV, you don't actually get to touch them, and I think that's why Rob Ford was so loved, because he was out there and he was for the people.
Yeah.
And that's what Kevin Clark is. He's for the people. And also a big shout out to DeWitt Lee too, who's another person.
we've had DeWitt on the show
Numerous times,
Numerous
yeah.
times,
yeah.
yeah.
And he's running for the Liberal caucus, and he's out in Scarborough. So shout out to Do It Lee, another honorable person and the people that's out there for the people.
Yeah.
Nice to see some honorable people in politics.
Right, right. We call it politics.
Ah, that
Right.
makes, yeah. Yeah,
Right,
that
I'm
makes
from
a-
Jamaica, so I don't get involved in these politicians because every 4 years everybody just kills each
Johnny
other
Smash,
for
you are
votes.
involved.
No, I'm not.
You're involved right now.
People's political party is not about politics; it's about the people.
Okay. All
Thank
right.
you.
Awesome, Johnny Smash.
Nice seeing you.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to take a little break. We got Rakesh Modi is in the house, and so many other fantastic. In fact, we're going to continue our political conversation today, Johnny Smash.
All right. Thank
All
you.
right, we'll be